This is episode 7 of season 4. Yeah, season 4. And I am here with MJHProductions. How's it going, man?
How's it going, bro?
So for the listeners who do not know you, can you give some background information about yourself?
Alright, so my name is MJHProductions, also known as Marques. I'm a photographer. I'm a freelance photographer. I don't work for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I do all my work by myself. So how I got into photography, I'll briefly go back a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I started having seizures.
Really?
So I had to find a new outlet for like a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting on the internet one day, I was on Instagram, not doing anything with my life. I felt kind of bored. I had
Stuck
nothing to
almost.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically I started following people that like do photography, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool. So I was like, why not start photography? And I've been doing it for about a year and some change now, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I've progressed, pretty well. So I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So you said you needed to find an outlet because of your seizures. So what was happening, if you don't mind me asking?
So basically, I started having seizures 3 years ago
Mm-hmm.
due to lack of sleep, and an outlet meaning like something to do like in like if I'm in a bad spot,
Mm-hmm.
something to kind of bring joy to my life during a bad
Shine
time.
light when you're in the darkness, basically.
Exactly. So I was like, photography, it's not too stressful. It's not gonna get me to where I may have a seizure. So
Yeah. It kind of calms you down, and you're relaxed when you're in there.
exactly. It's like it's very peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna hold you. Like every shoot I do, I find peace within doing a shoot, even if it's like something I haven't done before.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever get nervous when it's like that?
When I'm
When you
about
haven't
to
done
shoot.
something before? Yeah.
A little bit, but I gotta do a job. I can't be too nervous.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. You just got to go out there.
So basically, how I get rid of those nerves is I'll listen to music to
Mm-hmm.
kind of get me in the mood. I'll listen to like creative music. So for like example, Kanye West. I think he's a musical genius. So
Mhm.
I'll listen to Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think.
Oh yeah, I think that's probably
So-
my favorite album by him.
I'll listen to it front to back.
Really?
I'm on my way to the shoot,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just calm, ready to create, because that's pretty much what the album is.
It's your inspiration. It's just like a blank canvas, and you get to paint it.
Exactly. So I listen to a lot of Kanye West. It's like I said, it's been about a year or so since I started photography.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started, I didn't really take it that seriously.
Mhm.
So I was just like, oh, let me just do this.
Here and
But it's
there.
like-
Yeah.
I was like, I need to get serious about it if I really want to do something, because I'm the type of person to, I'll pick up a hobby, I'll do it for a while, and then I'll just stop. I
Just
think everyone's
throw
like
it
that.
out, yeah.
So I'm just like,
Lose interest almost.
exactly. It's like that. So, but I was like, I stuck with it. I didn't upload for a while,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of helped me back in a way. Now that I look at that time, I didn't upload for about 2 months.
And what was the reasoning behind that? You just wanted to grow, or
No, I was distracted. Like I said, I got off track.
Okay.
So, I had to get myself back on track. So, like, during, I think I had to take a class last year around this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I kind of found inspiration again. Because I'm just like, I'm doing this class, because I have to.
Yeah.
And I want to do something because I want to, not because I have to,
That's a big thing nowadays. Everybody's like, oh, you have to do this, you have to go to school, you have to do that. No, do what you want and your life will be perfectly fine. You just have to find your path, and your path may not be the exact path that everybody says to go down.
Exactly. And, like, I tried going to school. I went for maybe 2 semesters and I dropped out because I didn't like it. I went to school to try and be a corrections officer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I don't want to do this. So I was kind of in between, out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So, I finally found what I wanted to do, by
You
taking
actually
a class.
like going to, like, these shoots. You actually like doing the photography. It's something
course.
that, like, you go to your job and you smile instead of you go to your job and you're like, fuck. Like, I don't want to do that.
how it was today. That's how exactly how it was today.
Yeah, that's so cool. But that's when you know you're in your right lane, you're in your right forte, you're going down your right niche. It's like, all right, this is what I need to do. So going back, so what was your experience like living in Ledyard?
It was quiet. It was a small town. If I lived specifically in the Highlands, like near the high school, so like I would say the same group of people I hung out with in high school were pretty much like within 5 minutes of walking either way. So
you could go to one friend's house this way, go down the other block, and you'll see your other friend.
Exactly. So it's like anytime I would see them, even if I'm not even looking for them. So
you'd be walking down to Pumpkin Hill Marketplace, and then all of a sudden you'd see someone down there. Bro, I was just down there for the first time in so long, and it's just so nostalgic, just like that entire area.
I think Ledyard is home, you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up there, I went to school there, I graduated high school.
Yeah.
In Ledyard, I lived in Ledyard up until like 2015, and then I moved to Norwich, and then I like Norwich, but it's like, it's not the same. Like,
it's not that same feeling you have in your heart. You're not in Ledyard anymore.
Yeah, it's not the same. Like, I don't have any complaints about it, but like, it is what it is, sometimes you just gotta move on with life.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the next chapter almost.
Exactly.
That's interesting. So when did you get your first professional camera? You said like 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
It's actually, it's pretty funny. I actually got my first camera this past March.
Really?
Yeah.
So what were you using before?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I'll go ahead and tell you guys anyways. I was using my phone.
Bro, that's a great start though. That's the thing.
That's what people tell me. I was just like, I'm just like, whatever. I'll just use my phone, and because I learned the basics of like lighting and whatnot on my phone, and like I wasn't really ashamed of it. It was just like I wasn't gonna shoot someone like with my phone. That's kind of tacky.
You weren't gonna book somebody and then be like, hey, I'm here with my camera.
Exactly. So how I got started was I started doing like landscape photography, so like
I noticed that.
So I will go to places, either planned or just random. I would just find a way to take a picture, edit, and then boom, upload it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how I got started. I got my camera in March, March, I think March 14th, I think, and then my first like actual event that actually took pictures of people was called it's called the Photo Plug. It's a networking event for photographers.
I've heard of that,
So yeah, anyone can really go. It's like you kind of like marketing yourself. It's a pretty dope event.
Yeah, it's like networking just between a bunch of creatives, right?
Exactly. You have photographers, videographers, models, musicians, producers. So like you can go and just promote yourself.
And don't they have it like in different spots throughout Connecticut too?
Yeah, and they recently started going out of state too. Like
really?
This past one, the Photo Plug 10, it was at the Big E. So
That's smart. That's real smart.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go just because I was working and I couldn't get the day off. So
yeah,
it's a really good event to go to, especially if you're new, because they don't pick on you for being new or experienced. It's just like
they want to help you.
Exactly.
If you really have the passion to do what they're in love with, they're gonna help you like find that journey and that path that you're going on.
Exactly. And I follow a lot of them on Instagram, and like I get inspiration through them. I don't follow any famous photographers. I get my inspiration through the people I follow.
That you network with and
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I look at the pictures and I'm just like, I can do this, or I'll eventually be able to get there and do it.
And that's a huge key, like seeing something and realizing it's tangible.
Exactly.
Because you see it and you're like, that's in my grasp. Someone that I know is able to do that. If I just put my head down and I keep working, I can do that too.
Exactly. Like I said, you just gotta want it, and I want to get better. Whether it be, just with people or branching out to musicians or, producers.
I would love to see that.
That's something, I think that's on my bucket list to work with artists. I don't do Photoshop, but I'll take your pictures for social media and whatnot. But
bro, that would be cool, just like going around, like even if someone has a local tour, just going with them throughout the whole tour, taking pictures of them, doing stuff like that, just like being not like a roadie, but just like the team photographer.
Exactly, and I see a lot of celebrities that do it that have their photographer on the road, and they enjoy doing it, and that's something I hope to eventually.
And it's their friend too. Like it's someone that they actually go on. Like they're like, hey, yeah, come on the bus with us. Let's just take some good ass pictures. Like,
and it's just like. They're just so good, but like it's just so random, like how they take the pictures and like they just come out so like perfect.
They're very candid, I feel like.
Yeah, they are.
They're just like in the moment. They're smelling the roses, and then there's like a quick shot that the artist doesn't even know was taken.
I feel like that's the best kind of picture.
Oh, I agree, because it just shows you their natural raw emotion that was happening. Like
exactly.
Like, bruh, that's a cool. Like I feel like that's one of the coolest things to do in the industry. Because you don't have to get the stress of being the artist, but you get to go along for the entire journey and just help them along. Like, imagine going out on stage and doing all the recap videos.
Exactly. Capturing memories.
Yeah, that's a big thing, capturing memories. That's because, like, back in the day, they didn't have this. You couldn't go back and look back 20 years ago. It was all in your head.
Exactly.
You'd have to try to remember, and you'd reminisce with your friends. But now you can go, oh, let me just go on my computer. Oh, remember that show that we did in October, like 2 years ago? Oh, yeah. That's crazy. I got the video footage here. Remember that one girl that was doing that one thing? Like, it's just so cool what you can do with, like, and it, like, not enough people capture their lives. And, like, everybody's like, oh, we could do that, but it's okay. We don't need to vlog right now. We don't need to, like, take pictures. And then you're like, you look back retrospectively and you're like, I should have did that.
Yeah, because, like, even, like, I get that perspective, but, like, if you're doing something cool, you want to capture it, because it's just, like, would you rather sit there and talk about it, or would you rather sit there, look at the pictures or the video, and be like, man, that was a really good, good-ass time.
Just always have that memory.
Exactly.
Bro, that's sweet. So, what would be your dream camera and setup?
I already got picked out. I hope to upgrade by next year. I'm looking at I'm gonna switch to Sony.
Okay, what do you have now?
I have a Nikon D3300.
Okay.
It gets the job done, but I want better. You know, I think the sayings like talent beats the equipment.
Yeah.
But it's just like I feel like that I can elevate my work.
It will make it even better.
Exactly.
If your talent's already shining, then if you get it just a whole better setup, then it's like, alright, your talent's gonna shine even brighter.
Exactly, and like between now and then, I'm still gonna be taking pictures. Not like I'm gonna stop unless something made me unfortunately had to stop. But I don't plan on stopping.
There's no point.
Exactly. My dream camera is again, it's a Sony. It's a Sony Alpha R2.
Here, you said Sony Alpha R2?
Yeah.
Sony Alpha
You just
R2.
This Sony AR2.
Oh wow, that's nice. That's a beaut.
It's something to work towards. I think.
Yeah.
The camera I got now does the trick, and I plan on buying a few things to make my pictures better, but that's what I want to eventually work towards. And there's a lot of cameras out in the market right now. It's just really personal preference on what.
Yeah, what you like the best, what fits your style the most, almost.
Exactly, because I know people who will just get Canon because their friend has Canon.
Yeah.
I got Nikon because for the price it does what I want versus Canon, which is I would have to spend $200 more for what the camera I have now does.
And it's just because it has a better name.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean it's a better camera.
Exactly. It's like I said. It's really how you use it.
Personal preference.
Yeah. So, I could use anything and take good pictures.
What lens you got right now?
I got the kit lens, and that's the crazy thing because I don't have any additional lens at the moment.
Okay, so you're just working straight stock.
Yeah. So it's like I'm using stock, and when you're a photographer, you start from the bottom, especially when you get the DSLR. I shot in auto. I'm not gonna be ashamed of it because you're not gonna know what you're doing right away to use manual or aperture priority or shutter priority.
But you learn.
Exactly, and I found that what I use manual works for me. I don't think it works for everyone, But I think for me it works because
Yeah.
like I can control what the picture will look like.
That's dope. So what's your opinion on lenses? I feel like they can really just make or break a picture if you like get the right one.
It really depends on what you're trying to capture. So,
Mhm.
for instance, if I wanted to do sports, like a sports shoot, I'd probably want to get like a 70 to 200.
Mhm.
If I wanted to do like, concert, I'd probably have to do like, 14 to 18 and get really close, get
Yeah.
those up close and personal shots. And for any day shoot,
Yeah.
18 to 55 will do the trick.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
it does work, but I'm not really trying to settle for that,
Yeah, I feel you on that.
But like you always, before you go out and buy the lens, you need to see how much can you push the limit with what you have. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like, all right, you already have one. Let's try to reach the cap before you go on to the next.
Exactly.
Because if you just go get the next one and you didn't need it, it's just like an extraneous purchase that like you could have just saved.
Exactly. So like, for instance, like so typically the ones I'm looking at is 35 millimeter and 50 millimeter.
Yeah.
Do two different things, but it's like I already have them on my camera, so it's like I want to make sure I can master these type of distances.
Yeah.
With the stock,
Before you move on, yeah.
Exactly.
That's interesting. So, speaking about the models, is there any tips and tricks that you've learned along the way to help you make your art better? Whether it's for guys, whether it's for girls, anything that you noticed?
I think the tip would be to get to know your photographer, either by talking or what I usually do is I'll scout their Instagram. I see what their strengths and weaknesses are. So, and then what I do on my own is, not everyone is a model.
Yeah.
So I study poses the best of my ability. So that's actually...
So you can help them out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because, not, like I said, not everyone's born to be a model. Not everyone's photogenic. So it's like, I need to put in more work.
You're the professional, so they need your help sometimes.
Exactly. I shot with a few professional models, and all I really had to do was just point the camera and make sure.
So it's a little bit easier with them.
Yeah. I learn more with them than I do with non-professionals. I learn both ways.
It's different type of learning though.
Exactly. So it's like with the someone who's not professional, I get more joy out of doing it because I had to help direct them.
Yeah. For
a certain pose.
There was a bigger purpose almost.
Exactly. But with the professional, I just have to make sure my settings are correct. Not to say, with the one that's not professional, I have to make sure my settings are correct too.
Yeah.
But it's just, with the professional, I learned some poses that I didn't even think of.
It just kind of went over your head when
Exactly.
you first started looking into it. That's weird. But they were just like, it's kind of natural to them, so they're like, oh yeah, that's that's another pose you can do. And now when you go see another non-professional, you can use that tip that they helped you with. You could be like, oh, try this pose, and maybe that might be their best angle.
Yeah, exactly. And like, that's what I do. Like, I'm not gonna be like, do this. Like, try and do this. I don't mimic the picture. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna show them my phone and be like, do this. I'm gonna actually go towards them. And
try to move them and try to help them.
Exactly. Again, to help. Not to harm. So.
That's smart though, because it gets you more immersed into the shot that you're trying to create.
Exactly, and if I get that shot, if I get them to angle the way I want to, I get the shot that I want. Then they're just thinking like, why am I doing this? But it's like, it's a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
When you see the picture. You're like, oh, okay.
You see the final product, and you're like, this is the reason you did all the little things. I like that. So, where's your favorite place that you've shot a model before, out of all the locations?
My favorite place is probably Harkness Park. That's
Is that over in Waterford?
Yeah, it's in Waterford, Connecticut. I like that place. I like it personally because it's so much to the area. And
it's diverse too.
It's very diverse. I could probably go there 4 or 5 more times and
still get different shots.
Exactly. So I've gone there maybe three or four times already, and each shot was different from the last.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it might be in the Dropbox. So I haven't released all of my.
I'd like to see it, man. That's awesome, though. No, the Harkness is a beautiful place. I'm pretty sure that's where we had our like concert choir like picnic back in like my junior year or something like that.
That's crazy, but yeah, I think that's probably one of the nicest places. You know that like people. I don't see why people don't like Harkness Park. It's very nice. If you don't want to go directly into the park, there's like 4 or 5 different areas you can wander off into.
There's a little beach area too, like.
Exactly.
Bro, that's nice. So going back to the live events, if you did start, would you have to get? I know that it's like always so dark, and that's my biggest thing when I go to events. I feel like I can't get a good enough shot without like using a flash. If you like did a recap video, would you have to use like permanent flash thing? Have you ever seen those?
Or yeah, it's like a LED like that.
Yeah.
Attaches like to like the I think it's like the horseshoe of the camera.
Like
where,
right
like,
here.
The microphone will go.
Okay. Yep.
So it would really depend. So because I know like they make lenses that perform
Don't need that.
Like they perform really well in low light. But if I didn't, have the that resource. My next resources would probably be like to get like a small like LED light, like to put in the horseshoe. It's not like ginormous, but like it'd be like maybe like this big.
Yeah.
And like it would help with the lighting. It's not like consistent flash because like with consistent light, I don't think it bothers anyone. It's just let's say maybe the flash bothers someone, that make it annoying and it might throw them off their track. But if they see consistent light, they may not even notice it after like you.
Yeah, it's kind of just like another light in the distance.
Exactly.
Huh. That's interesting. So transitioning from that, I was talking about videography again. Do you ever see yourself getting into music videos and videography?
Not at the moment, but I would like to touch the waters. I think how people produce music videos is really cool. The process on editing is really cool. And I actually follow a few videographers like on Instagram, and they kind of show like what they do behind the scenes. Like it's really tough. So
it's tedious. I feel like
it's like if you think photography is tedious, videography is like 10 times more tedious.
Because you're taking that still image and you're making all these still images into like a motion picture. Exactly,
and like I think with a music video, you need to have more. Like for photography, you can have a simple concept and be like bam. For a music video, depending on what the concept is, you need to make sure everything's hitting.
Yeah, it has to be everything on every cylinder.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is something I wanted to talk about. On your Instagram bio, you have a quote from Deep Roy, and it says, "Life is what you make of it." Why is this so important to you?
It's so important because I feel like recently people, I've been hearing a lot of stories how like people that graduate college with a certain degree and then they'll get a job here, but they'll settle. You know, I don't think you should settle in life, regardless if it's job, relationship, friendships, whatever. I don't think you should settle at all.
You should just keep going.
Exactly. And if they don't like it, then you have to leave them behind, unfortunately. That's how you grow. You have to leave some people behind sometimes.
Yeah. Success is not, it's like everybody feels like it's a finish line, but really it's a journey.
Exactly.
And you just gotta love the journey, man. I like that. And who is Deep Roy?
Deep Roy? I'm not really sure.
But that it just resonated.
Yeah, it connected with me. I'm just like, I gotta put this because I'm not stopping here. Like, if you go to my feed, if you go all the way down to the bottom and then go all the way up, there's progress and
100%. You'll just see it.
Exactly. So
I like that. And then you wait a couple months later, you'll see the progress from where it is now to where it's gonna be.
Exactly. Each shoot is better than its last.
I like that, man. So, what's next for you?
What's next? I don't really, have a plan. What's next? I'm kind of just going with the flow right now. I'm kind of just like, I think what's next for me is I need to market myself better because I think I have the talent, but the advertising, the marketing,
the social media marketing,
it's not there. You know what I mean? And I think that's what I struggle with now.
Mm-hmm.
Out of everything that I do with photography is, kind of like reaching out to people, using the story, using the poll.
Just finding every little thing that you can do to make your page a little bit better.
Exactly. So it's like the traction's there, the support's there, the love is there, but it's like I want more. You never want, like I said, you don't want to settle for just what you have.
Want to. You're hungry. You want to keep working, man.
Yeah.
I like that. So, I want to do this thing where we do the 1, 5, 10. So, where do you see yourself in 1 year?
Where I see myself in 1 year? I see myself in 1 year more or less with working with artists and being more known in Connecticut as a photographer. And maybe touching the waters as a videographer, but I would need that practice. But definitely well known as a photographer in Connecticut.
I like that, man. What about 5 years?
5 years? I hope to be, again, if I'm still doing videography, I hope I perfected my photography and I'm in videography.
Starting to adventure into that.
Exactly. But I also hope to be, New England, not just Connecticut.
Okay, so you kind of want to branch off a little bit more.
Exactly.
I like that. And then 10 years.
I hope one day I own my own studio, because, I don't have a studio now, so it's like, it's kind of tough. Like, if it rains, like, I can't do a shoot.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I have a studio,
you can just go there.
Exactly.
Hey, just meet me at my studio. Bang. Let's do a shoot. What background do you want? Just pull it up. Like.
It would really depend on what I'm kind of going for. Probably something like this, something very, casual, laid back, something semi-professional. Probably have a big backdrop, and whatnot. So
whatever, like it's just like wherever it goes, you're just waiting. And 10 years is so far from now, too. It's like crazy to even think about.
It's actually so close, you know what I mean?
That's interesting to hear. You're like one of the first people to say that.
Like you say 10 years, I'm already like, I need to be halfway, to that point in like 5.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know what I need to do to make sure 10 years happens.
Yeah, bro.
Because some people will just, they'll talk the talk, but they won't walk the walk.
And they'll sit there and talk for a couple of years, and it goes by, and they're like, "Oh shit."
Exactly. So some people, I try not to talk too much. I try to just kind of put my head down and do it.
Hey, I like that, man. So, last question: is there anyone else that you'd like to shout out before we end today's interview?
I'd like to shout out the CT Breakthrough team for reaching out to me.
Of course.
I really appreciate it. Like I said. It's very humbling because I've been a fan of the show for a long time, and there's a lot of talent in Connecticut, so it's just like it's pretty cool to have me on the show.
Bro, you're a part of it. You're part of the culture.
And anyone watching or does watch this, if you need your photos done, please contact me. I think the information will be in the description.
Yeah, we'll put Insta and Twitter.
I also want to shout out to my family, for supporting me during this journey. They're kind of skeptical at first, but they've been supporting me since the start. I also want to shout out to my girlfriend for she kind of kept me on track with the photography, because like I started out doing I wanted to do videos, then I kind of branched onto photography, and she's like, "Which one are you gonna do? Because you gotta pick one.
Yeah,
the least start.
Pick one to focus on.
Exactly." But it's like I don't see it as a bad thing, but shout out to you.
Hey, well, thank you, man. This is season 4, episode 7, and we are out.